As Arizona locals, I know how dreadful the summer heat can be. Sweaty back, sweaty armpits. Every time you step out the car, it's super hot. But that's not where my mind was growing up as a child. My mind was more focused on if we could fit 3 people on a bird scooter going down Tempe Town Lake, or seeing who could run back to the car the fastest, just trying to get back to the car after dark, running down Santan Mountain. We'd be tripping and stumbling over everything. Or even looking at the newspaper or looking around Queen Creek, just seeing what the newest fast food chain that's being built. My name is Toby. I moved to Queen Creek, Arizona when I was 5 years old, and I'm here to give you some information on some of my favorite home places growing up, or some of my favorite places growing up in my childhood. This information could be really useful to you guys, as we partake in this 8-week course together. Yeah. So my favorite places in my hometown, like I said, Tempe Town Lake, Santan Mountain, and the town of Queen Creek. Now let's discuss the place that I have the most memories at. The place that I have the most memories at is in Tempe Town Lake. What did I do in Tempe Town Lake? Well, there's the actual lake, and then there's a mountain down there, and there's a bunch of good food spots. I spend most of my time climbing a mountain there. There's a beautiful view. You can see all the planes flying over. The Phoenix airport's right there, so it's a very beautiful sunset. A lot of people hike that mountain. It's a really short hike. If you ever have the time, I would visit there. It's called A Mountain because there's a big A on the mountain. We also spend a lot of time riding our bird scooters, going as fast as we can. You squat to go faster, and we'd fit as many people, like I said. We'd fit even 3 people at a time on the bird scooter. We didn't get really far, but also passing over the bridge, there's a light bridge, or not a light bridge, a bridge that you can drive over with lights. The first time I went to Tempe Town Lake is when most of us got our license, so we'd post on our story driving through Tempe Town Lake, and people would be like, "Oh, scoop, scoop!" It'd be the coolest thing. Just seeing the lights. We're in Tempe. It's far away from Queen Creek, like a 40-minute drive, so it was just something memorable, something new to us. And a cool fact about the lake is it opened up on November 7th, 1999 to the public, per City of Tempe. Another cool fact is today the lake draws 2.4 million visitors each year, generated around 2 billion in economic impact since its opening. Got that from Impact Mobility. And yeah, the next place I found myself spending a lot of time was at Santan Mountain. Some benefits of the mountain I'm going to list are just the workout and the cardio. There's this steep hill at the end of the mountain before there's a little seat there. There's a little chair at the top. But me and my friends would sprint up that mountain after hiking for a mile, 2 miles. That little sprint up there would gas us. And we would do that for workouts in the mornings. In the heat even, we'd be wanting to pass out. So the benefits are working out. The second benefit is the deep talks. We'd have deep talks at sunrise, sunset, on top of the mountain. It's a good place to debrief with your friends, your close friends. And yeah, watching the sunset and debriefing. That's why I said we would run back to the car after dark, because we'd spend hours up there talking. We'd get lost in time. And then it'd be so dark, we'd be tripping and stumbling down the hill. And yeah, we made it back to the car somehow with our almost dead phones and flashlights. Yeah, so the mountain is really important for the town of Queen Creek. It pulls in a lot of visitors. It has a really beautiful view. It's important to certain, it is important that certain irreplaceable natural open spaces, resources be preserved, and that conservation management guidelines be established by the residents of the region to ensure the integrity of the Santan Mountains against degradation. That's from Maricopa County Parks. I agree with that. We have to preserve that park, so it's not trashed and dirty, and so it can be clean. For people like me who enjoy the park. The last place I want to discuss is the small town that I live in. It's the town of Queen Creek. It's really far from Phoenix, like an hour away from Phoenix, like a 20-30 minute drive. to the Chandler campus, Chandler Gilbert. Growing up in Queen Creek has its positives. I love watching Queen Creek grow. Like I said, the fast food places. We got the marketplace, has a new movie theater, new places to eat. But the bad thing about Queen Creek is that low power mode. The bad thing about Queen Creek is the traffic. The traffic has grown so terrible. I live like 5 minutes away from my work, but it takes so long to get from work to home. Maybe like 15 minutes to drive 2 miles. The traffic is terrible. There's always construction going on. But I spend most of my time at the library or even this place called Founders Park, a park nearby. Or, like I said, the marketplace, we would bike after school. And a fun fact is a lot of people think there's nothing out here. We're just way out in the middle of nowhere. Exactly. We're in the middle of nowhere, but there's a lot to do in the city. The town boomed from 2,600 residents when it was incorporated in 1989 to more than 30,000 today. That's from AZ Central. And that is the town of Queen Creek that I grew up in. I spent most of my childhood and adolescence outdoors, enjoying the rays of the sun and good times with friends. I'm so happy to see the small town of Queen Creek grow and myself grow with it. This blazing hot city, or this blazing hot town, is a place that I love to call home. Wrapped.